What's up, Rupert here from Grounded Permaculture, coming to you from the Narang riverbank across the road from the Regenerative Living Hub, where we're planting out a good chunk of riverbank with native plants revegetating. The scope of the contract and why it's happening is to stabilise the riverbank, prevent erosion that's going into the bulk water source, the big dam that's supplying the Gold Coast, and to keep the cattle off and out of the waterway to improve the water quality. Now, it is best practice if you're on land to have that riparian buffer and protect it from grazing animals for those reasons, to stabilise bank and erosion and improve water quality. And everyone wins from that situation. Now, but today I want to take you through some of my favourite plants that we are planting out here. So if you're in subtropical southeast Queensland or around in that area, these plants are awesome powerhouses. They serve many functions, and we're going to run through them real quick. Right here we have the Eucalyptus grandis, which is the blue quondong. I might have got that Latin name wrong. Yeah, I think it's right. Anyway, the blue quondong. This blue quondong is a powerhouse. It's a very long-lived tree. It produces these massive buttress roots. Lives for hundreds of years. It's pretty fast growing over the first few years, but it grows over a long time. And in say 20-30 years, this whole area is going to be just held together by the buttress roots of this blue quondong. Produces these blue, I wouldn't say berries, it's a stone fruit really, that are edible, and you can make some different jams and cordials and different things from that. Sometimes can be a bit furry depending on the tree. Here we've got the Acacia melanoxylon, if I've said that right. That's the black wattle, one of the pioneer species, nitrogen fixing as well. Amazing plant, tough as a nut. This plant will grow out the side of the wall here in eroded banks. It's the first to come back in any degraded landscape, one of the first trees to come back naturally, and is very widespread all across Australia. Excellent pioneer species in getting things established. It's really tough plant. So we're on a pretty easy site. You know, we get a lot of rain, we get a lot of forest around us. There's lots of topsoil. It's a pretty easy site to revegetate. But if you've got a tough site, acacia is very good, very powerful. Right here we've got the sandpaper fig. I can't remember the Latin name right now. Sandpaper fig, similar thing, very tough plant. Doesn't live that long, kind of like the acacia. The acacia might get to 10, 15, 20 years and then just decide, I'm done, that's it, just carks it. The sandpaper fig is similar, although I have seen some pretty damn big ones that grow for a very long time. They look like they're at least 50 to 100 years old. But the same thing, these guys, the acacia and the sandpaper fig, they are tough. Once established, the sandpaper fig is actually a little bit sensitive in the early days, but can get smashed by the river, laid over, growing out the side of the walls here where we've got the severe erosion that's going on. Very good plant, and produces the figs that you can eat. They're really awesome, really tasty, and yeah, excellent plant to have in the system. Right here we've got the Macaranga, which is the first part of its Latin name and also its common name. The plants that we got this time around are very small and very sensitive, but awesome pioneer species. Often you'll find it coming out. It's one of the first trees to emerge on the edges of forest or in the grasslands. And you'll see if we come back in a few months, this tree will have massive leaves, big ass solar panels, capturing a lot of sunlight and putting that into the soil. They don't last that long. They can also 10, 15, 20 years and then just decide to fall over and die. But excellent pioneer species. Right here we've got the Lammandra. This is the Lammandra longifolia. You can tell because it's got these slightly elongated leaves. We've also been planting the Lammandra hystrix. The longifolia does better in the shade. You'll find it often on creek banks. It's a bit more dainty in its sort of form and structure. The hystrix is often used in the roadsides because it's much more bushier and tough. And yeah, you can actually eat these plants as well. You can pull out the stem, and if you can get down to the white fleshy bit, That is also edible, and you can chop that up and use that in your cooking and mixing for food. This one here, one of my favorite trees. I've got so many favorite trees. This is the Eucalyptus grandis. The flood gum, one of the favorites in syntropics because it is, I would say, the fastest growing tree in the world. And it is an absolute monster of a powerhouse. We'll come back here in 1 year's time and this thing could be like 2 or 3 meters high in 1 year if it's doing really well in prime conditions. You can keep chopping it and hacking it and it will just keep coming back, or you can just let it go and it will go up 50, 60 meters in the air. Excellent, excellent tree. We've got a few syzygiums in the mix as well, also edible. Lily pillies, I think we have 2 varieties going on. Lots and lots of bush tucker here in the mix. Here's another one, a really cool tree from this area. This is the native mulberry or white mulberry. This is also another pioneer species, spreads around quite easily, popping up everywhere, and produces these little white berries that you can eat. They're also called snot berries. Very tasty, more bush tucker going in here. What else have we got here? Oh yeah, there's the 2 that I wanted to show you here. This is the red cedar. Now, red cedars, the Tunis salatus. The red cedar is a prized furniture timber because it's a hardwood, but it's also a soft hardwood, so it's very versatile in its use. The red cedar was one of the first trees to really be logged in this area. Like, there's not many big old red cedars left because they were all taken very, very early in the piece. But the cool thing about the red cedar is that even though it was the first to go, it's one of the first to come back. You'll often see it popping up in grasslands and trying to re-establish itself. Although, when it's coming up in the grasslands, it's susceptible to a thing called the white-tip moth that will sort of burrow in through the top here and then kill the leading stem. And then what will happen is it doesn't kill the tree, but then it'll just have to shoot new stems out from the side. So growing it as a timber tree in an environment where you don't have existing forest is very risky for the red cedar because you're going to lose that straight trunk. And then here's where's the other one I wanted to look at? Oh yeah, come over here. Last one I just want to look at and share with you guys is the Gravila Robusta. This is the silky oak, also used in syntropics a fair bit because it is a fast growing pioneer tree. You often see it coming up in landscapes, in grasslands, so emerging. It grows straight up with this straight stem. That's why it's great for furniture timber. Very prized timber as well. It's one of the very few trees in this area that is deciduous and loses its leaves in winter, which is an added bonus if you are using it in syntropic systems to get that extra sunlight coming into your system during winter, and produces these amazing yellow flowers as well. Now, I think that's pretty much the main favorites and information that I wanted to convey in this video. If you got some value out of it, drop a comment, let me know. If you've got other questions, drop a comment, let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, to stay tuned for more videos that are coming this way. Peace.